This week, the L.A Fires were labeled the worst natural disaster in U.S. history. AI Brad Pitt scammed a woman out of $850,000. Humanities' largest gathering has begun for the first time in 144 years. I am being forced by Alex to try his favorite tea. And the TikTok ban is actually getting insane. People are trying to buy it. Americans are flocking to actual Chinese-owned and operated apps to just hand over their data. And reports say that TikTok plans an immediate shutdown for all US users on Sunday, with them not being able to access the app at all. Woo! So what does that mean for 170 million people? Well, all of that and so much more. So let's stop the yapping and let's get cracking! Okay, let's start today off with the TikTok ban, because only 3 days out, it actually looks like this might happen, contrary to what I believed in for so long. And what we all thought was going to go down if this actually does happen was that, it just wouldn't be able to be downloaded on the App Store anymore. You could still use it, but it wouldn't get updates and it'll just slowly drift into irrelevancy. But then, yesterday, shocking reports came out that TikTok plans an immediate shutdown on Sunday, meaning that even if you have the app downloaded on your phone, you may not be able to access it at all once this ban comes into effect. Now, the initial reports come from a news outlet called The Information, but is now being widely reported on by multiple outlets. And they say that sources familiar with TikTok's plans say that people attempting to open the app on Sunday will see a pop-up message directing them to a website with more information about the ban. The report also says that TikTok plans to give users an option to download all of their data so they could just take it with them. How freaking tragic. Now, here's the thing. The law doesn't mandate TikTok to go out this way. Shut up. So why would they? Well, the report says that what the law does explicitly prevent is US-based hosting services from supporting the app. That includes app stores, but also, and much more importantly, cloud providers like Oracle, which currently host TikTok US users' data. And they say that without access to these hosting services, TikTok would face significant operational challenges in maintaining its platform with the United States. They also say that while they could consider migrating their data to its servers located in China, one, that would be a really terrible look, but two, it could introduce severe latency issues. So they report that it just makes sense that TikTok goes dark for all Americans just like that. And holy, if this is actually the way that TikTok goes out, there will be riots in the streets. And I mean, as users, and even myself, we desperately look to some hope, turn our faces to hope. Hope comes in very strange forms.
I just got out of a meeting with a bunch of billionaires. TikTok, we mean business. This is my lawyer right here. We have an offer ready for you. We want to buy the platform. America deserves TikTok. Give me a seat at the table. Let me save this platform, TikTok.
And now look, I know what you all are about to say. Mr. Beast has money, but he doesn't have that kind of money. Not app buying money, okay? I know that, all right? But did you hear? He said we just had a meeting with a bunch of billionaires. And honestly, if anyone was going to take over TikTok, would Mr. Beast not be the number one option? I mean, if all of these anonymous billionaires, band together to buy the app and then take Mr. Beast, say, you're running that shit now, I think that's a pretty good investment on their half. Brother would know. He would know how to run it. I mean, heck, I would high-five the US government if this is how it worked out, because it would work out better in the end. But to dash our hopes and dreams, TikTok still to this day maintain that they refuse to sell. Even to Elon Musk, which was kind of weird reports that came out in the past few days that TikTok also denied. They called it pure fantasy or fiction, I think it was. Also, the latest development was that the bill to try and extend the TikTok ban by 278 days died in Senate almost immediately as it was introduced.
TikTok isn't just another social media platform. TikTok is a Chinese communist spy app that addicts our kids, harvests their data, targets them with harmful and manipulative content, and spreads communist propaganda. So let me be crystal clear. There will be no extensions, no concessions, and no compromises for TikTok.
So yeah, we're not going to get saved that way. But there is Trump. He has said before that he does have a soft spot for TikTok, and also reports today say that he's considering an executive order in hope to save the app and delay the ban. Keyword though, delay, because even he can't just wave his hand and single-handedly eradicate something that was voted on to be put into law.
ByteDance and the Chinese communists had plenty of time to make a deal. In fact, the legislation allows the president to grant a 90-day extension to the Sunday deadline, though only if negotiations have substantially advanced.
So you see, the bill that would effectively ban TikTok does have a little clause in there that says the president has the power to, delay the ban by 90 days, but only if they are in serious negotiations to sell the app to America, which currently, that we know of, they are not. That apparently comes from ByteDance, the parent company, saying it's not happening. And I mean, with that thought in mind, where it's just that there's almost seems like there's no way of saving it, Americans are now flocking over to a fully Chinese-owned and operated app called Red Note, or Little Red Book. Of course, as a big old FU to the government, because we could talk about the T's and C's of this app and its community guidelines for another video, because I don't think many people read those. And I mean, as funny as I think it is, and I support the valiant FU for making this happen to the government, I don't think Red Note, Little Red Book lasts, at least for Americans, for reasons I'll talk about in a separate video. And if, hypothetically, Americans can never use TikTok again starting Sunday, I don't think TikTok lasts either, at least for English-speaking countries. I'm gonna say it. TikTok just wouldn't be the same without its American creators. They are predominantly the ones that drive the trends, drive the memes, and add the cultural relevancy to the app. I think wherever they go is where other creators in other countries follow. I mean, even when I was doing the review on Red Note for a TikTok video, you know how many British creators are on Red Note now? Why are you there? TikTok is not even getting banned in the UK, yet you find them already following the Americans. And even though I live in the UK and it's not getting banned for me, the vast majority of my audience is American. So if they go, that's not good for me. That's pretty devastating. Honestly, I have a lot more to say on the subject, but for time's sake of Alex editing this to get this out tonight, I will save it for a separate video, okay? And that will be coming out in the next few days. So, with a very heavy heart, let's move on. Okay, let's run through a rapid fire of all of the latest updates from the LA fires. Because believe it or not, they are still burning, and also reports say that the wind is picking back up again, causing fears that it's gonna fan those flames and make it even worse again. All right, ready? First of all, California's government told NBC that this could be the worst natural disaster in US history. You're living through that right now. The death toll has reached a tragic 25, and the total area burnt by these fires is so far, remember that, everyone was talking about how I was saying, last video, you thought it was so bad, you wanted to stress the word 2 days. This has all happened in 2 days. No, I didn't say it that many times. Alex, and the damages, and remember, on 2 days, and the damages, and remember, on just 2 days, are thought to be in the realm of around $50 billion. That was, in fact, that was such a mistake from Alex. Today, Alex is going on the whip wall. Reminder, put Alex on the whip wall. Sorry, let me continue. So far, the area burnt by the fires is bigger than the size of Paris. Roughly 75% of Pacific Palisades has now been destroyed. 75%. Alex, do not play that 5 times.
75%.
And is now threatening nearby areas like Brentwood and Encino, where many famous people have houses, like Kamala Harris, LeBron James, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and many more. The FBI has now got involved, and they've launched an investigation to find the drone operator whose drone collided with and grounded Canada's Super Scooper aircraft that was fighting the LA fires. Who would have thought? A bloody drone taking
corn casserole
like that down. Elon has sent out a massive convoy of Cybertrucks, and they're now being used as mobile base stations to provide Starlink internet to areas without internet connectivity. Multiple people, it's like every time I go on Twitter, there's someone new. They've been filmed around LA allegedly starting fires. 32 people have been arrested for looting homes, including one who disguised himself as a freaking firefighter to rob houses. This is actually one of the best visuals that gives you a perspective on the fire's location and its sheer size. And there's also a fantastic animation created by CBS News, which gives you an idea at the speed at which it grew. There was a video posted showing a man coming back to his home, finding out that his dog, named Oreo, was still alive. AccuWeather estimates that these wildfires have so far, God damn it. cost more than 250 billion in damages and economic loss. Forecasts show that the wind speeds are picking back up into the double digits and will continue to increase all the way through to Thursday. But of course, I'll keep you updated as things develop. Moving on! Oh, also something that's wild that you probably don't know is happening this week. For the first time in 144 years, humanity's largest gathering has officially begun. It's called the Maha Kumbh Mela festival, and over the next 45 days, all right, this is crazy, lock in, 400 million people are expected to come to this river and bathe in it as part of a religious Hindu tradition. That's like every single person in the United States, plus 70 million, bathing in this river. What? And the event is so large that it can be seen from freaking space. Our minds cannot compute that many people. Now, the reason it's so massive is that it's believed that if you wash yourself in this sacred river, that it will cleanse you of your sins, purify your soul, and will free you of this cycle of birth and death. And although this Kumbh Mela festival happens once every 12 years, this one, known as the Maha or Grand Kumbh Mela, only takes place once every 144 years. And it's due to the stars and the astrology, basically. That's why it's such a big deal. But to welcome what's expected to be the largest gathering in its history to a city that's only built for 6 million people, it takes years of planning. And not just planning. 400 kilometers of new road, 200 kilometers of new sewage lines, 13,000 train services, 160,000 tents, 40,000 police, 15,000 sanitation workers, 150,000 toilets, and the list goes on and on. And I mean, 150,000 toilets, 400 million people. Damn. Anyway, moving on. Now, have you ever wondered what it's like to be an addict of soda? Well, today you find out, because this is what the average day looks like for a soda addict that drinks up to 36 cans a day. This is basically like if you swapped out tea with soda and now you have Alex the editor, which I cannot wait. I've even put a little cover on here to make sure it's nice and steamy and warm. Promise you, I have not tried this. I literally just boiled the old cat, brought it in, and I'll do it after this story. So, he starts off every single morning with 4 cans of Dr. Pepper on the way to the gym, drinks about 1 to 2 liters of water while at the gym, and then, on his way back, he fills up his almost 3-liter bottle just to drink on the way home from the gym. America! Now, when he gets home and he starts actually working, he can go through about 9 cans every 30 minutes. And then at the end of the day, if he goes like to the cinema, he can go through 3 of these 900 ml cups just throughout the movie. Oh, and also 6 to 12 cans right before bed. So on this entire day that he actually recorded, bro pounded 21 liters of soda. 21 liters. I mean, just think about how many times you would have to pee ingesting that much liquid. Actually, hey ChatGPT, let's see if I can ask how big the average bladder is. Please have internet. Please, I want to know. Okay, well, whatever. Alex, what is the size of the average bladder in milliliters? I wish I could be shocked with you, but I can't, unfortunately, because I don't have any internet in my soundproofed garage. Now, you're probably wondering, how much money does bro spend? Well, kind of surprising on this one. He says that he hustles the system hard and he really uses those, buy 2, get 3 free discounts, which you have in America. Buy 2, get 3 free? What are the profit margins? So although he cops roughly 21 12-packs every week, he says that he only spends around $40 to $50. That's pretty good. Oh, but that doesn't account for all of the flavors and creamers that he adds to the soda to just give it a little bit of extra summon. I've never done that, but that feels like America's final boss. And here's the craziest part. So despite his soda addiction starting 20 years ago and increasing its severity every year, he said that so far that he knows of, there's been no health or dental issues related to the soda. That's pretty crazy. And we also said that he quit for 5 months once, but he started up again because life wasn't as fun. Okay, now speaking of, because I know that Alex is editing this, like really relating to it from a tea perspective. Let's try it. Yorkshire Gold. And this is so good as well because I'm in a cold ass garage. It looks strong from what I... Well, wait, okay. Before I say it, one more. I have a verdict. That's a good cup of tea. Damn! Yeah, no, that's good. It's got that zang at the end. It's a bit more powerful, strong, a bit more brutal on the old taste buds, which I like because I've been having a... Okay, I don't want to go into my tea little... I've been having brew tea and it's not a... Shut up! Moving on. Well done, Alex. Good tea. I'm gonna drink it. All right, well, on the subject of drinks, we might as well do this one for our next story. This unhinged episode. This is why doing a singular episode just focusing on one thing is so much more cohesive, because I don't have the opportunity in between stories to go on these rants. So, where the start the story. You might not know this, but the amount of water that AI uses is absolutely and utterly astonishing. According to a report by the Washington Post, if you ask ChatGPT to write you a 100-word email, it uses 519 milliliters of water. And I know for a fact, some of you, and me, I'll be honest, are asking this fucking AI, sorry, beep, sorry, I can't even put a sentence, this is Alex's nightmare, to write us multiple novels a day. I'm just sat there having chats with ChatGPT at some points. I'm just when they dropped that Santa update, I'm not even gonna lie. Ask Maddie. We were chatting to that thing for like man, this is terrible. I wish I knew this before. I won't chat with ChatGPT anymore. I once asked it, give me a long summary of the start of the beginning of time up until this point, and don't miss out any details. I'm kidding, I didn't do that. I didn't. And just to make this whole scenario even crazier, ChatGPT has 200 million users. So hypothetically, if all of them just got it to write 2 emails in a day, which is 200 words, which let's all be honest, is gonna be more than that, that would use a staggering 207 million liters in one day. One day. And that's not even considering all of the other companies using AI now, like Meta, Google, Apple, Microsoft. And I mean, this water, for anyone that doesn't know, is used for cooling all of the servers. And it can, I believe, be recycled. So it's not like it, one use gone, but still, absurd how much water that needs. All right, moving on. Also this week, a French woman who thought she was dating Brad Pitt was scammed out of $850,000 after finding out that all of the pictures were AI generated and the whole thing wasn't real. $850,000 is tearful. And at first, I know, like when you see these images and you see the whole headline and stuff, you might be tempted to laugh and think, how could anyone fall for something like this? But hold the laughter, because this actually has a pretty freaking sad ending. So let me tell you about it. So this 53-year-old interior designer in France gets this message one day from someone who says that she's Brad Pitt's mother. And she says to her, her son, Brad, needs someone like her. She said at first she thought it was fake, and she said, you know, this is ridiculous. But, and this is the sad, heartbreaking part, because there's so many people of the older generation that don't get fully social media. But she basically says she wasn't used to social media and she doesn't really understand it, and she didn't really understand why it was happening to her. So she kind of just went along with it, and for the next 18 months, they were messaging back and forth. And this AI Brad Pitt was sending her poems, declarations of love, fake AI images, and eventually a marriage proposal. And she said, because, you know, she's never had a man speak to her like this before and it was so nice, she enjoyed it, and she wanted to believe that it's real. When you want to believe something is real, not much stops you from believing it. But then the inevitable happens. The requests for money start rolling on in, because apparently this AI Brad said that he was sending her luxurious brands, but told her that she had to pay the custom bills, the first being $10,000. Now, eventually, after, you know, well over a year of chatting, they were deeply in love, and she started divorcing her millionaire husband. She starts to get messages saying that AI Brad was in hospital and dying of kidney cancer. And at first she kind of had her doubts, right? But then that is when she starts to get all of those AI images, and seeing all of them, she really believed it. So she transfers her life savings, $850,000, into a bank account in Turkey. And man, I mean, from the perspective of this actually being real, to give your entire life savings, that amount of money, to someone that is dying to pay for their medical bills, that's some good person shit. That kind of person doesn't deserve to get scammed, Anyway, she finds out that all of this wasn't real and she had been scammed when she saw a news article about the real Brad Pitt being spotted somewhere in France with his real partner. Man. That is rough. She spoke about all of this to a French news station, but the network later pulled the interview because she was being cyber-bullied. So not only did she get scammed out of her life savings, people started bullying her too. And she has also since been hospitalized for severe depression. She said, "I ask myself why they chose to do such harm like this to me. I've never harmed anyone. These people deserve hell." Yes, they do. Man, that's actually freaking tragic. Let's move on.
It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything.
Let's lighten the mood, because as the TikTok ban looms, we need our 3 sacrificial lambs to remind us all to subscribe to the channel, and that not subscribing has consequences, as you'll see in 3, 2, 1. Wait, let me write their names first. Wow, I haven't put anyone on the whip ball in so long, it feels good to get the whole whip arm back. You are going to get a ferocious whipping. Oh, and don't let me forget, Alex, you are going on here for, what was it? Oh yeah, making me repeat multiple times after just 2 days. And the damages, and remember, on 2 days. And the damages, and remember, on just 2 days. All of you say your last words. Ooh. Subscribe to the damn channel or else! And one special one for Alex, Naughty Alex! Woo! But also well done, Alex, for recommending this. This is a fantastic tea. Yorkshire. Okay, it is time for something we haven't done in a while, and that is... Oh, what the heck? What the flip is this? Now, so much has happened since our last news roundup that I gotta be quick and I can't yap about them all, alright? So let's go. Ukrainian troops have captured 2 injured North Korean soldiers, which marks the first ever living proof that North Korea is directly involved in this war. Next! A man who accidentally threw away a hard drive containing 8,000 Bitcoin in 2013 has just been denied permission by a UK judge to excavate a Welsh landfill to find it. And you're wondering, why would you want to go to all that trouble to excavate an entire rubbish dump? Well, that Bitcoin is now worth approximately $740 million. What? How freaking pissed at yourself would you be for throwing that away? Next! I don't know how this one is possible, but thieves this week cut through a fence at a army reserve in California, and they went in and stole 3 Humvees and other military equipment, including machine gun mounts, medical supplies, and Yorkshire tea gold. I mean, what kind of robber are you? If you're targeting army bases, what the flip? I guess technically it's an Army Reserve Center, but all the same. 2 of the Humvees have since been recovered, but the up-armored Humvee and other equipment still remains missing, and the suspects, no one knows who they are yet. Next! Starbucks has introduced a new coffee house code of conduct in America, which now says, if you don't buy something, get the
corn casserole
out. So no more chilling in Starbucks on your little laptop and not buying anything. It's happening today. You buy something or leave. Next. Japan was hit with a 6.6 magnitude earthquake, and South Korea's president today has been arrested. That unprecedented event marks the first time ever in history a South Korean president has been arrested. Woo! Making old history in 2025. How freaking normal. Damn! You know what? I really feel like we needed that, didn't we? A good old roundup of anarchy and woo! Woo! And, you know, good old Yorkshire tea getting me through. Tink! I really feel like these are, these ones, these are for the OGs, right? They may not be for all the new people coming through. Because this is like mostly anarchy with a little bit of news, whereas the regular ones are news with a little bit of anarchy. So anyway, I'll stop the yap, start the goodbye. See you whenever. Well, I don't even know anymore because my life's falling apart now that TikTok's gone and whatever. All right, love you. Bye. Woo! All right. You want to see how many lights I have to turn off before I leave? Another one. Another one. Should my next video just entirely be done like this? Give me a spooky vibes.